Today I'm back with another webcam unboxing and review. This time for the Zoom certified Nexigo N950P 4K webcam. Thanks to Nexigo for sending this camera out for my honest review. To start it all off, I'll get into the camera specs. We got a max resolution of 3840 by 2160 at 30 frames per second, a fixed focus lens, a 90-degree field of view, automatic low light correction, 5x digital zoom when using it in 1080p resolution or lower, dual built-in omnidirectional microphones with noise cancellation with a talk range of up to 16 feet, and a 8.5 megapixel Sony Starvis sensor, which is known for producing excellent image quality in low light conditions. In the box we got the user manual, then we have one 6-foot USB-C to USB-C cable, as well as a 6-foot USB-C to USB-A cable, a remote that you can use to control the camera, the Nexigo N950P webcam, and if you're concerned about privacy, there's a stick-on privacy cover. So look at the camera, it seems well made. It's a little wider than most cameras I've reviewed on the channel. I assume it's because of the IR sensor hidden behind the front panel. It's completely made of plastic and very light. I like the rectangle shape and the two-tone color with the brushed metal look in the front. On each side of the camera, you have two pinholes, which are the noise cancelling mics. On the left, we have a blue indicator light. This will be lit whenever the camera is on. Over on the right, we have the IR sensor that I mentioned earlier behind the panel. Now, when you power off your camera, you'll see a pulsing red light to confirm that the camera's off. On the top, we have a zoom button. Over on the back, we have the USB-C port. And on the bottom, we have a 1/4 inch thread if you want to mount it to a tripod. Or if you want, you could place it directly on a monitor. With either option, you'll be limited on your vertical range of motion. So this is the quality of the camera right out of the box. I've made no adjustments, and right now I'm recording through OBS in 4K, 30 frames per second. For my current lighting setup, I have my studio lights on and my room lights on, and it's doing a great job not overexposing the image. While the camera isn't overexposing the image, I am finding the image a little washed out. That being said, if you're using OBS to record or stream, you're going to be able to adjust the camera colors by going into the camera settings and adjusting things like brightness, contrast, saturation, and so on. And for anyone using the camera for Zoom or Teams meetings, Nexigo has an application which you can download and install that allows you to adjust the colors just like you can in OBS. As you can see by the text on my shirt, as well as the text in the frame behind me, the camera does an excellent job keeping the image in focus. Now, since this is a fixed focus lens, you're not going to be able to do close-ups. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a blurry image. While I've been using the camera, I haven't been able to notice any ghosting or stuttering while moving. Next, let's check out the camera in a couple more lighting scenarios. So in this clip, all I have is my basic room lighting with 4 pot lights above me. In this scenario, I have my room lights off, and the only light sources that I have available to me is the light coming through the crack of the door and from my monitor directly in front of me. Taking a look at the remote a little bit closer and the things that you're going to be able to do with it, we'll start off with the power button. This will obviously turn off the power of the camera. Over here we have the microphone mute button, so if you do choose to use a microphone that's built into the camera, you'll be able to control the sound directly from the remote. Over here we have our refresh rate toggle to toggle between 50 and 60 Hertz. So if you do see any pulsing in your image due to lighting, just pressing this button should correct that issue. Over here, we have our image on and off button, and pressing this will turn off your image. Over here, we have our zoom controls, which can only be used in 1080p mode. And when you are zoomed in, you can use the directional arrows here to adjust your focus to different parts of the image. Using the backlight compensation button, if you have a dark image, pressing this will lighten up the image. Over here, we have our brightness controls. Trying to use this, I haven't been able to notice any difference in the image when pressing it. Over here in the bottom, we have our volume controls for our microphone, which we'll test out shortly when we do our microphone test. And finally, once you're done messing around with all your settings and you just want to put them back to the way it was, all you need to do is press this home button. This is a microphone test for the Nexigo N950P. I am roughly 1.5 feet away from the microphone at the default volume settings. As you can hear, the audio is not the greatest. It is clipping, it is getting distorted. So now I'm going to try using the remote to reduce the volume to see if it gets any better. So now using the remote, I have reduced the volume on the microphone. I did find that it took a while of me holding down the button to actually get it at a decent volume. So it wasn't instant on every press. I actually had to hold it up and keep on pressing it in order to get it to this volume. So this is where I'm going to end the video. Overall, I'm pleased with the image quality. The remote is an added bonus, but I wouldn't base my purchasing decision on this remote because, like I said earlier, I didn't find that all the features worked. For example, the brightness, I didn't actually notice it doing anything. The volume control did work, but I couldn't tell when it was working. So that was a bit of a hassle. I found that I was having to hold it a bit too long for it to actually lower the volume to a level that I wanted. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.